Hello Nigeria football lovers, welcome to another lovely edition of the Players Roundup show with me, Emmanuel Sebastian, on Nigeria Footballers TV. Well, it's back to club football this past weekend, and of course the Nigerian footballers aren't left out, as a handful of them were in action for their respective club sides this past weekend. And like I've previously said, and we say again, this is the #1 show to get a rundown of how they all perform for their respective club side. And for the first time on the show this time around, guys, we'll be traveling to Lithuania. So you want to stick around with me to the end of the show as I take you on this moon's ride. Once again, guys, I am Emmanuel Sebastian, and it's the Players Roundup show, and we are Nigeria footballers. So where do we begin, guys? Okay, let's travel to Germany now in the Bundesliga for a start, where Jamilu Collins was in action for his club side SC Paderborn in the German Bundesliga. It was 90 minutes played for Jamilu Collins. They were up against, Bundesliga giants Borussia Dortmund. It was a 6-goal thriller actually. We actually thought we were in for a shocker in that game as SC Paderborn raced a 3-0 lead at halftime away from home at the Signal Iduna Park. But Borussia Dortmund, they showed the quality at the end of the day. They staged a stunning comeback in the second 45 to draw that game 3 apiece for both teams. So it's a sad ending, a sad result for SC Paderborn. A good result footballing term, but looking at the Bundesliga standings, it's a sad result for SC Paderborn, who remain rooted at the bottom of the Bundesliga standing out there in Germany. Now from Jamilu Collins, still in the Bundesliga, we talk about Anthony Uja, who was on the score sheet for his club side Union Berlin against surprise Bundesliga table toppers Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, great to see Anthony Uja on the score sheet again. He scored his side's first goal in the 15th minute before they eventually got a second goal, winning that game by 2-0 in the German Bundesliga. So good win for Anthony Uja, who was with the Super Eagles squad at the 2013 Confederations Cup out there in Brazil. Maybe he's been a bit under the radar recently, but it's always nice to see a Nigerian player on the score sheet. And as well, same goes for Anthony Uja. Great to see him on the score sheet again. Now from Anthony Uja, we move to his namesake, who plies his trade in Turkey. I'm talking about Anthony Nwakeme. He was on the score sheet. It was a brilliant away performance for Trabzonspor, and Anthony Nwakeme out there in the Turkish Superliga. He got the assist for the second goal and eventually got on the score sheet himself. So that's a goal and an assist for Anthony Nwakeme, and 3 goals in total in the Turkish Superliga so far out there in the season. Just to remind you guys, we also have the retired John Obi Mikel also playing for Trabzonspor out there in Turkey. So from Anthony Nwakeme, guys, we move to Spain, CD Leganes, to talk about Kenneth Omeruo, who started in place of his compatriot Chidozie Awazim out there in the Spanish La Liga. They were up against Spanish giant Barcelona, and Omeruo was at the heart of a 5-man defense for CD Leganes in that game. They showed great resilience in that first half. They raced a 1-0 lead at halftime. But Barcelona again showing their quality, securing a comeback win, 2-1. So it was a sad ending for Leganés and Omeruo out there in the Spanish La Liga. They are rooted as well in the bottom of the log. But it was a sad ending for Kenneth Omeruo, who was substituted late on in the game in what seemed like a groin injury. So we hope he makes a speedy recovery from that injury. Omeruo, who was just coming back recently from another injury, so going back down again with another injury is not a good sight to see. But we hope he comes back in good health and a speedy recovery. Will wish him, we all at Nigeria footballers. Up next from Memorial, guys, let's travel to England to talk about this man, WILFRED NDIDI. Leicester City, Brendan Rodgers, and almost everyone in the club, they are on a high at the moment. It was another win this past weekend for Leicester City. They were up against Brighton and Hove Albion in the Amex Stadium. NDIDI, who has been a mainstay in that team, ever in the lineup for Brendan Rodgers, was again starting that match. He played 90 minutes. It was a 2-0 win for Leicester City away from home. They are currently second on the English Premier League standings, behind English Premier League leaders and European champions, Liverpool. Well, we don't pull off another miracle like they did in the 2015-2016 season. I bet you NDIDI will hope for that miracle to come again. But good one for Leicester City and WILFRED NDIDI out there in the English Premier League. Now from Leicester City, we still stay in England, but let's move 2 divisions lower to talk about one man who had an eventful day for his club side, Rotherham United, and that man is Freddie Ladapo. When I say eventful day, Freddie Ladapo started the game from the bench. His side trailed 2-0 at halftime. They were up against MK Dons in the English League One. So Ladapo came off the bench after his side has pulled one back. It was 2-1. He came off the bench. He got the leveler for his side for 2-2, and he got a spot kick in that game. It was a chance to make it 3-2, and he was given the chance from the spot kick, and he missed the spot kick. The ball came off the woodwork. And finally, late on in the game, same Ladako, secured the win for his side with the third goal for the side on the day, with Rotherham United eventually winning that game by 3 goals to 2. So that's why I said he had an eventful day for him. So it was a brace off the bench for Freddie Ladako for Rotherham United. So great one to see him on the score sheet again. Now still with Freddie Ladako, just to mention, another Nigerian was in that squad for Rotherham United, and he got the assist for Ladako's first goal, and it's Michael Ihekwe. It is great to see the Niger connection between Ihekwe and Ladako out there in the English League One. Fantastic stuff. And when you talk about a Nigerian footballer who is currently on top form, I bet you won't want to skip the name of this man, UMAR SADIQ. It was another fine performance for UMAR SADIQ out there in Serbia for his club side, FK Partizan. It was a hat-trick. He scored a hat-trick for his club side this past weekend. They won that game by 6 goals to 2. So UMAR SADIQ getting a hat-trick for himself, and it's the 10th goal for him for the season so far in the Serbian Superliga. Remember, he's on loan from Roma. So great to see UMAR SADIQ putting up a show out there in the Serbian Superliga. So from UMAR SADIQ, guys, let's move to the Dutch Eredivisie to talk about this man, Cyril Dessers. He was on the score sheet again for his club side, Heracles Almelo, in the Dutch Eredivisie. They were up against Dutch giants Ajax Amsterdam. They lost that game by 4 goals to 1. So the goal scored by Cyril Dessers was just a consolation goal. But it's great to see him on the score sheet out there in the Netherlands. Remember, prior to the international break, he got a hat-trick for his club side, Heracles Almelo. So getting on the score sheet in consecutive games for his club side, it's fantastic to see. This man is keen to represent the Super Eagles. He expressed how it would be an honor for him to turn out for Nigeria. He's born to a Belgian father, but to a Nigerian mother. So we don't know if he's going to get that call-up eventually from Gennett Rowe or from whoever in charge of the Super Eagles. So still in the Dutch Eredivisie, we have Chidera Ejuke, who plays for Heerenveen in the Dutch Eredivisie. He got the assist for his club side as well. They were up against another Dutch giant, and PSV Eindhoven. They lost that game by 2 goals to 1. So Ejuke Chidera got the assist for his side, solid 3 goals in that game. So it was great to see Ejuke on the score sheet as well. Another player, another fantastic winger who's also, putting Nigeria on the spotlight out there in the Dutch Eredivisie. So good one for Chidera Ejuke and Cyril Dessers out there in the Dutch league. So from Chidera Ejuke, guys, we move on to Samuel Kalu, who was in action for his club side, but though in the French Ligue 1, they were up against Monaco. They were playing at home. They conceded first in that game through Algerian Islam Slimani, but Samuel Kalu and his club side, they showed great character to secure a comeback win. Samuel Kalu, who started the game more like a wing-back role, he had a fantastic performance. There's another Nigerian as well who was in action for St. Bordeaux, and it's Josh MAJA. So it's great to see 2 Nigerians starting for their club side. They played 90 minutes actually, both of them. So Josh MAJA was starting as a central striker, and Samuel Kalu, who played more of a wing-back. Remember, guys, we caught up with Samuel Kalu in Uyo prior to that Super Eagles AFCON qualifier against Benin Republic, where he spoke exclusively to Nigeria footballers of his brilliant on-field relationship with Josh MAJA. So nothing to show for it this past weekend in terms of goal scoring and assists, but we hope in subsequent games they both get to start together again and show that fantastic relationship to you out there watching. Now from Josh MAJA and Samuel Kalu, we'll move on to Belgium to talk about Paul Onuachu. He was on the score sheet for his club side, Genk, against Royal Excel Mouscron in the Belgian First Division. Now, Paul Onuachu came off the bench in that game, to eventually get himself on the score sheet. It was a 2-2 draw for Genk out there in the Belgian First Division against Royal Excel Mouscron. Another player who came off the bench for Genk was Stephen Ode. He came off the bench as well with Paul Onuachu, but it was just Onuachu who got on the score sheet. So great to see Onuachu and Ode, getting some action for their club side, Genk, out there in the Belgian First Division. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the show, we're traveling to Lithuania for the first time, and it's because of this man, Igoboras Murphy Teremas. I love the name actually. This man is on fire out there in Lithuania. He's got a hat-trick for his club this past weekend. They won that game by 5 goals to 1. He scored his side first, second, and the third goal. Make that a hat-trick. He plays for FK Riterea out there in the Lithuanian First Division. So make that 20 goals for the 20-year-old in 27 appearances for his club side out there in Lithuania. Well done to this man, Igoboras Murphy Teremas. And finally, guys, Samuel Chukwueze. He was on the score sheet for his club side, Villarreal. They were up against Celta Vigo. They were playing at home in the Spanish La Liga. They lost that game by 3 goals to 1. They trailed early in the game, but Samuel Chukwueze, make sure that that trailing doesn't last long. He got the equalizer for his club side Villarreal with a nice finish, but they eventually lost that game by 3-1. So it's great to see Samuel Chukwueze again on the score sheet. He had a fantastic game in Oyo for the Super Eagles against Benin Republic. So good one for the Rock Nation signing. Yeah, Rock Nation. Good to see him on the score sheet as well for his club side Villarreal out there in the Spanish La Liga. So finally, guys, the Niger Footballers Player of the Week. So our Player of the Week, guys, we need to take that accolade down to the King Power Stadium in England. So no other than WILFRED NDIDI. Now we have to give him the Player of the Week award on the show this time around because he's a defensive midfielder. So this is the perfect time to give a defensive midfielder who is not a non-scoring striker our Player of the Week award. Now, why we give him the Player of the Week award is it was a milestone for WILFRED NDIDI out there in the English Premier League. He made his 100th Premier League appearance, and it was a clean sheet on the day for them. So, which better way to mark your 100th Premier League appearance with a win, a clean sheet? Remember, I said in the beginning, Leicester City are riding high in the English Premier League. They are second on the log. So, fantastic one for NDIDI, making his 100th Premier League appearance. He joins the likes of Alex Iwobi, the likes of Yakubu Ayegbenin, the likes of John Obi Mikel, the likes of Victor Moses, in making over 100 Premier League appearances for his club side. Remember, guys, the record of the Nigerian with the most Premier League appearance still is with Shola Amiobi. So WILFRED NDIDI is a long way, to breaking that record. So we don't know if he's going to break the record with Leicester City or if he's going to move elsewhere to another English club. But for we all are Niger footballers, we say congratulations to WILFRED NDIDI for making his 100th Premier League appearance out there in the English Premier League. So guys, it's a wrap on this week's edition on the Players Roundup show with me on Niger Footballers TV. And guys, don't forget, you can always join the conversation on whichever platform you see this video, maybe on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. We are Niger Footballers on YouTube. We are Niger_Footballers on Instagram. We are Niger Footballers on Twitter, and as well Niger Footballers on Facebook, like you can see on your screen. So guys, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for premium Nigerian football content. Guys, I remain Emmanuel Sebastian, and don't forget, attitude, they say, might be a little thing, but it plays a major role to whatsoever you do in life. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Signing out.